Salutations, this is Jake from Degenerate, giving another ST lessons video. It was recorded right after the other two because I don't have a lot of time these days, so this is pretty much what I'm going to do. This time I'm going to do a video on shreddage, introduction to shreddage, because a lot of people want to know shreddage, because shreddage is a fun word to say. So yeah, basically, I mean, we're just going to be talking about, like, playing fast, really, and using a lot of the legato techniques, you know, like, so, you know, stuff like that. And basically, what this boils down to, if I give a few little pieces of advice, as I said in the previous video, make sure you're warmed up first. Another thing to bear into account is what angle your pick is at. I mean, I tend to find for a more choppy sound, having the pick at a slight angle is the best way to do that. It's probably more rhythm playing, but for lead playing, you may find it easier if you're more kind of straight onto the string. So yeah, I mean, yeah, stuff like that, but basically there's that. Also, a lot of the time with lead playing, you're in the thumb, well, what I would call the thumb under position, where your thumb is actually kind of on the back of the neck, lined up roughly with the middle finger for proper technique, and you've got to keep your fingers really relaxed and as close as possible to the fretboard. So you're not out like this doing hammer-ons, you're like that doing hammer-ons. You know, that's kind of the ideal way of doing it. So, you know, I'll give a few exercises anyway, a few legato techniques that you can try out for yourself. I'll do that one that I just played, which is a nice little blues lick. If you go up to the 12th fret in the D string, and then you go to the 10th fret, that's right, 10th fret of the G, and then the 12th fret of the G, and then bend that note, and descend it. So again, what you do next is you're simply just going from the 10th to the 12th. Hang on, you're going to the 12th from the D, then back to the G, which is the 10th to the 12th, and then 12th to the 10th to the 12th. Okay, yeah, so you slide from the 12th to the 14th for that bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do some little A minor scale legato work. So this is basically on the B string, go from the 13th to the 11th to the 10th. Do the same on the G, and the same on the D. And then, on the D again, hammer on, pull off from the 10th to the 8th to the 7th. And then do the same thing, but in reverse. So you do the hammer-ons from the 7th, 8th and 10th. From the 10th, 11th and the 13th, and then do the same thing on those two strings. And then that same sort of run you're kind of playing, but and those are the same notes as 13th to the 11th to the 10th. And then you're starting with that little scale run that you did at the start. And then just slide to the 14th. So. So yeah, that's one kind of, that's a basic blues riff that uses a lot of legato work, which isn't really shredding. That's not like full on in your face playing, that's just kind of like, you know, a nice little legato run to get you into lead playing. Another thing that's pretty much the same as that which I messed up. Okay, I seem to be forgetting how to play the guitar. Whatever, I could edit this, I just can't be bothered to. Right, yeah, so that anyway, on the, what am I doing with my life? Go from the 11th fret on the B, and the 10th fret on the E, and the 11th on the E, and bend that up. And then descend it. So just 10th fret on the E again, 11th fret on the B. And then slide up to the 15th and back down to the 11th. And then you basically slide from the 10th to the 8th back to the 10th. And then you play the 7th on the G, 5th on the G, and you hammer on to the 7th. So I should say that's the 9th on the G, sorry, not the 7th. Then the 5th, and hammer on. And then what you got to do is a little legato thing. Ah, I finally played it. Okay, right. So that's just 5, 6, and 8 on the A string, 5th on the D, the next bit is on a D, and that's just the 5, 7, and 8, 2 of those. And then on the next string it's 5, 7, 8 again on the G, but you slide up to the 10th fret, and then you play the 8th, 7th and 8th. But you do that as a hammer on and a pull off. And then the 10th on the D, then do the same thing, it's the hammer on and pull off with the 8th and 7th. And then, which is just 5th and 7th hammer on, so. So again, we still haven't really gone into shredding territory here, we're still just doing the legato stuff. So I mean, shredding would be more like oh, I don't know what's wrong with me today. But yeah, again, this is all just like, utilize your legato, utilize your scales, practice your speed picking, practice your, you know, any tapping and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up now because I'm having a really bad night and I have not had very much sleep and it's affecting just about everything that I do. So, see you guys in the next video.